Hey guys, Mainkiller7 here, the Radical Ranter. Um, damn. Wasn't, uh, exactly expecting this kind of, season, finale. I really wasn't. I'm a huge fan of Cobra Kai. I love the original Karate Kids. Especially the first one. And how this continues on from the first one. 34 years later. Now, gonna give it... This is going to be a review of Season 2. Now, there will be a spoiler section, of course. So you're being forewarned beforehand, so if you end up learning of a spoiler if you haven't seen it yet, and you end up crying, well, it's your own goddamn fault. Now, I'm gonna jump into it right off. This was fucking amazing. I loved it. I give Season 1 a 9. At the highest 9 possible. On a scale of 1 to 10. Now, I love the storytelling, how it's intense. You see that even the good guys can make bad decisions, and the bad guys have a moral compass of some way, of some kind. And you see that in the first season, that even Johnny doesn't want to be like his former sensei. He doesn't want to be like Kreese. Now, what happens in Season 2? It's a lot more intense, and you get to see a bit more acrobatic combat. I can say that without spoiling anything. And you get to see a lot more character development, not just from our two main protagonists from before, our two main stars, but from the entire cast overall. And we do get to see a lovely return again from Mrs. LaRusso, Daniel's mother. And I gotta say, that's fucking fabulous. She makes a reprisal as her role. And even Kreese comes back. Which you see, that's the big reveal of Season 1. It's amazing, you know? How all the old actors, 34 years later, or maybe not 34 exact, I'd actually have to look at that, but they come the fuck back to reprise their roles. It's amazing. So, yeah, in the very first episode of Cobra Kai, Episode 1, Season 1, you get to see Johnny just lay laced to 4 assholes. Even a big dumb one. And then he teaches Miguel all this. And, okay, hands down, before I continue any further, Miguel is my favorite character of it. Hands down, there's no contest. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Daniel in the first episode. I'd put them right there with Miyagi as my favorite characters in Karate Kid. In this one, Miguel, top. Then you got Johnny, and it goes down from there. That's how I rank it. Robbie, I don't know. I don't know where to place him. I really don't. And I'm saying this with someone who has seen all of Season 2. The second it hit, I binge-watched this shit. I didn't even go to sleep. I didn't. And I was so shocked afterwards, I couldn't go to sleep. And I mean, hell, I reviewed Burn Notice, and it shocked the hell out of me. And this goes far beyond what Burn Notice even tried. Okay. I have to give this one a 9.5. I have to rank it higher. The storytelling and the character development, even if some of it looks just a little too high. What the fuck? No. The character development it's too good. It puts it better. Because we get to see further development of these characters that we've come to know to love from Season 1. There's so much character development here. It's amazing. This is a full review of all of Season 2. I'm not going to go into it episode by episode. But suffice it to say, this is going to be the spoiler section now. So I'm giving you a couple seconds to click off before I go into spoilers. So you have 5, 4, 3, 2, your fucking fault. Now, Season 1, Episode 2. Season 2, Episode 1. It's a nice return. It's a nice ease back into it, because you see kind of the reflex of the choices made in Season 1 reflect here and trying to correct back onto a proper course. And there's something you can see for free on the Cobra Kai's channel, where he's like, Miguel, or Hawk, did you knowingly attack your opponent when his back was turned? Yeah. Miguel, did you knowingly attack your opponent's injury? Yes, Sensei. Punish him for it. And it asks the question, do you want to be the badass Cobra that kills the strongest lion, or the one that kills the crippled monkey? So he's trying to teach him to fight with honor and not fight dirty like he was taught. That's a good correction. So even though while he's training them to be these powerful badasses, he's also training them to fight with honor. And even when their opponent is beaten, not deal a finishing blow. Because that's what you see in the original Cobra Kai, is when they go in, watch this fight. It's like, what are you waiting for? Finish him! And deals that finishing blow. He was already beaten. Now, Episode 2 of Season 2. I'm going to say Season 1, I already know it. You see a good flashback, I'd say. Well, maybe not. I should say not a good flashback. But you see a pretty good, where Johnny is kind of looking back and is like, I don't want them to make the mistakes I made. And the character development he has with Miguel is almost like treats him like a son. And the character development with Miguel is like on another level. This is like a father and son relationship. And it's amazing. He even has a better relationship with his son in this season, and that's partly because of his mother. Which is great. Fucking quit it. Anyway. He has a better relationship with his son this time around, and that's partly because of his mother, who returns for a single episode. Well, I say single. She returns for 2. Small parts. The new chick, Tori, holy shit, she's a character. She is. Not my favorite one. I'm more of the Miguel, Samantha. They belong together. They belong together. They do. Maybe Tori and Robbie. I'm not sure. No. They're going to kill each other. There's this fight in the mall that breaks out between Dimitri and Hawk, who's gone full asshole. Full asshole. Just straight up, he's fucking Johnny from the original now. Or no, he's Dutch now. He's gonna end up like Dutch. I swear, he's gonna end up in jail. But he got his ass kicked, so that's good. Not just by Hawk, or not just by Miguel though. There's a scene where they actually go out into the forest, and it's black belts versus red belts, and Miguel beats his ass. And just standing over him goes, "That's what I got." And Hawk's like, "God damn it." Robbie kicks Hawk's ass too. In the final episode, I'm going to jump to the finale because that's really where it lays. Dimitri, the one with the mouth, learns karate from Miyagi-Do and kicks Hawk's ass. Albeit a little bit, not much, but kicks him straight into this case and just glass goes everywhere. And he goes down. Sorry, Eli. Robbie and Miguel go at it pretty much in the entire school, throughout the school. Tori comes after Samantha, which starts this entire showdown. That's only because Miguel and Samantha kissed. Samantha's drunk off her ass. And this is in episode 9. Yeah, then the showdown happens in episode 10. Episode 9, she's drunk off her ass, and she ends up in school. But her and Miguel kiss at the party before. And then Miguel's like, no, this isn't right. I'm with Tori, you're with Robbie. And, yeah. And he can't get a hold of Miguel can't get a hold of Tori, and Aisha can't get a hold of Samantha. First day at school, Tori makes her grand entrance to the West Valley with going, I'm coming for you, bitch, you're gonna pay. And that starts the entire fight when they meet in the at this crosswalk hallway. Fucking four-way intersection. And that starts it all. And, oh, goddamn, he's a character. The fight breaks out. Miguel tackles Robbie. And Hawk's just like, yeah! Two guys come forward. He pushes them. Some guy comes up, clotheslines him, throws the other one. Guy comes up. He flips him. Knees this guy, throws him behind, then gets tackled. And the fight is on at this point. It is full on. Cobra Kai versus Miyagi-Do characters. You have friends and now former friends at each other's throats, kicking each other's ass. And there's one guy, Chris. I can't remember the two, but dude, tall black guy, like muscular, and this white guy with curly hair. They're about the same size, and he's like, "You shouldn't have left, man." He's like, the black guy's Chris. I want to say it's Chris. Like, I'm not gonna throw the first punch. Doesn't matter. And they go at it. And little white kid, little Asian kid, they go at it. And we see the little white kid in season 1. He gets his ass kicked in the tournament. The really, really thinny, like 10-year-old. But he goes at it with a kid his size. And you just see a bunch of extras in the background beating the shit out of each other. I mean, this is intense. It is entertaining as fuck. If a little over the top. But Samantha and Tori are full on locked in this one-on-one throughout this entire thing. And Samantha eventually wins after getting her arm cut open when Tori goes, no fight, never fight, and wraps his spike bracelet around her fist like a weapon, like Nux. Kicks her, throws her over the rail onto a stairs not too far difference. I'm making mention of that because what happens between Robbie and Miguel. They're on the second story now. This is near the end of the fight. Miguel has beaten Robbie. Has won the fight. Has Robbie face down, is about to punch him, and freezes. And has a flashback to what Sensei Lawrence, Johnny Lawrence, told him. Apologizes and drops his guard. He's done. He's called the fight over. Robbie gets up and attacks him and ends up kicking him over the rail to where he falls and breaks his neck. This is my favorite character. I'm pissed about this, okay? But it's great fucking storytelling. I did not expect this. It's fucking shocking. He doesn't say a word for the rest of the series. Samantha's like, Robbie, what did you do? You see an officer walk up with Hawk and Tori, and they're like, we need an ambulance here now. And the guard looks up at Robbie. I'm sorry, that's a cop, actually. Looks up at Robbie while he says that we need a ambulance at West Valley. Robbie takes off. We don't see him again for the rest of the episode. Johnny's broken by this. He's devastated. I mean, you can literally hear a tremor in his voice when he says, he's gonna pull through, right? You can tell he's destroyed by this. Because he's trained Miguel. He's put everything he had into Miguel. And I think it's even harder on him because it's in fact his son that did that. Allie most likely makes a return. Elizabeth Shue comes back to reprise her role as Allie? Maybe? I'm hoping it is her that comes back to reprise Allie Mills. Schwarber. Whatever. Allie Mills comes back. Hopefully in season 3. I mean, she did contact Johnny. Or Johnny contacted her by accident. But she sent him a friend request on the Facebook. God damn it, Johnny. He's like, you sold me this piece of crap. Have you tried the power button? Yeah, I tried the power button. Fuck you. Total dumbass about technology. It's great. But, yeah. So, we get to see that. So, I really do hope, my hopes for season 3. I hope it's a connection for Robbie, a miracle redemption somehow. And Miguel forgives him, and Miguel pulls through. And Miguel comes back. He's not paralyzed. He has difficulty walking and regaining control and everything, but he pulls through and comes back to be the badass champion he always was. Because he is the Karate Kid. He's this generation's Daniel LaRusso. I mean, if we could go back and have this Miguel fight Daniel LaRusso back then, he would definitely, hands down, tear LaRusso in half. Miguel is a badass. And I would wager him against all of Cobra Kai at once. He would win. He tore Hawk apart in seconds. And none of the others in Cobra Kai are even that advanced. He would tear them all apart. He'd take down Hawk and the rest are nothing. He'd take them all. Miguel is that good. Now, for season 3, I hope to see a third faction emerge. Because Johnny left it to Sensei Kreese because they all turned on him because of what happened to Miguel. And I hope if Miguel recovers, when he recovers, he doesn't go back to Cobra Kai. He joins with Sensei Lawrence, the one who's trained him, who's basically like a father to him. Because Miguel himself doesn't know his own father. And just like Lawrence found a father in Sensei Kreese, and how Daniel found a father in Miyagi, Miguel found a father in Johnny Lawrence. And Robbie's kind of, he knows his father. He's getting a better relationship with his actual father, a father who wants to be there, and kind of Daniel LaRusso as well. He has both. And yeah, so I hope Miguel pulls through. I am a huge Miguel fan on that. Just the way he fights is fucking amazing. How he goes full on arrogant badass, but yet he retains elements of who he truly is. Like, he doesn't go seeking out to fight the bullies from season 1. I mean, they just see him and they're like, yeah, we're good. We ain't doing... No. Okay, we're going this way. Like, there's this party that's thrown up, and she's like, make him leave. She's like, okay. Wait. It sees Miguel. Miguel sees him, and he's like, yeah, let's just go home. We don't need to be here. Because he knows if he tries anything, he's going to get his ass kicked. Straight up. I do not like the character. I mean, yeah, Hawk has developed more into a total badass. jackass. He's basically Dutch, as I said earlier. I don't like to set correct. I mean, I see where they're going. They're harkening back. He is the new Dutch, basically. Is it Butch or Dutch? Whatever. He's the new super blonde-haired jackass from the first one, where they're in the locker room. He's like, points or no points, you're dead meat. Dead meat. He's that character, basically. He's all in it for the fight. And that character, the original one, is in jail, that we learn. We do see a return of the original gang, minus the one who's in jail. And it's really heartwarming and heartbreaking. Because if you've ever seen the original Karate Kid from 1980s, the first part where you see everybody run up on the motorcycle, Johnny and his group friends, he's like, I'm gonna be X degenerate. I'm gonna be a new senior tomorrow. I'm gonna try and make it from there. And it's like, you must Bobby. I can't remember the character's name, but he says, "You must be a trendsetter, Johnny. What you talking about? Take a ride, check it out." That character, he comes back, but he has terminal cancer, and so does Bobby. Come back. He's a pastor now, and the other one, I don't know his name. I never learned the original Cobra Kai's name. I just know Dutch, Johnny, and Bobby. He dies at the end of that episode. At the end of that episode, and that's heartbreaking because you see that he's not a bad guy. So it's really bad on that. I mean, it's amazing storytelling. It's great. I love the storytelling. 10/10 storytelling for both season 1 and season 2. But that's heartbreaking. With everything that's happened so far for season 3, what I hope, Johnny starts his a new dojo. Miguel comes back as his champion after he makes a full recovery. Aisha comes over to his set faction as well, and then you have a 3-way dojo war at the next tournament, All Valley tournament, between Miyagi-Do, Johnny's Cobra Kai, or Johnny Lawrence Karate, whatever they're going to call it, or Johnny Cobra Kai and Kreese's Cobra Kai. And as I said, Miguel's going to take all of Kreese's Cobra Kai down like that. Because you see, Hawk goes to Kreese in season 2, whereas Miguel goes to Sensei Lawrence. And that's really amazing, that split where they were once friends and now they're deviating. They're going different paths. That's crazy. Because Eli and Dimitri were friends. And now you kind of see them trying to rekindle that. Dimitri does. And then they're like this, and then Hawk's too concerned of being a badass. So I hope Hawk gets a little bit of a further character development, returned to the right path, and be more like Miguel was in season 2. Without the falling from the damn second story, please. We don't want to see our favorite characters die. We've already seen too much. No more. Miguel, come back, please. Don't do that. We don't need heart attacks. And we really do need to see more Miyagi flashbacks, because that was heartwarming. We did have my favorite one, was Banzai Danyo-san with the car, and that was amazing. Too bad you have to see it in the midst of an anger where Daniel's like pissed off. That's just my thoughts on season 2. It's a 9.5. It was much better. Only because of the character development that it gives it that point. On par without the character development, I'd say it's maybe a little bit less. It's an 8.5. Without the character development. Karate advancement, the fights, the music, the scenes, the story development, and the acting... the acting and the character development makes it a 9.5. So I'm really interested to see what Season 3 brings. I don't know if my predictions will be right. I'm hoping some of them may be. Some of my predictions for Season 2 were correct. Not in the way I thought, though. So we'll see what happens. I'm really interested for Season 3. Main Killer 7, guys. The Radical Ranter. Out.